Anyways, how's it going, gamers? Welcome back to another Balatro video. Today I have another something special for you. I've been training my homunculus to play Balatro, and I am here to show off its skills today. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so we're going to start here, hitting the play button, and I'm going to tell the creature to hit a new run and play on blue deck white stake. Not the arrow, yep. Other one. And then the right arrow on the lower. Yeah, just go back to the first one. There you go. Alright, and hit play. They've gotten very good at the game, and I think they certainly could take a white stake run home here. We're going to play the small blind, and we're looking at these cards. We have two queens, a jack. Half the hand is actually face cards. We're looking at the queens here. Maybe searching for a straight on the lower end or a flush. Nope, back to rank. Back to looking at the queens. Alright, we want to keep the face cards. And we do find not quite a full house. But we find two pairs. Alright, looks like the creature wants to make a two pair. It's a questionable play, but could still take this blind. Still have two discards left. We seem indecisive about whether to sort by rank or suit. Alright, we're playing a pair with some trash. Not bad. And now it looks like we're going for the diamond flush. A surefire way to take this run home here. Alright, grabbing a pair for some more scoring. Still can't find a diamond, and there's the diamond. And just like that, we're gonna take this blind home. Let's give a big round of applause for the homunculus. Ooh, and just like that, we find some strong options in the first shop. I think even a homunculus knows that Hanging Chad is very powerful. Now, we're gonna save the $4. Not protecting an interest cap or anything, but just saving the money, which isn't a bad play. Alright, we're back in another blind. The second blind in 4 minutes. Alright. And we're definitely taking a liking to pairs here. Ooh. However, this club flush seems to be too tempting to deny. We're going to beeline for that. And we do find it. And the king will get duplicated twice by Hanging Chad. Just lets us just barely not take it home. Only need 22 chips here now. Which should be an easy grab. Even if it's just a high card, because Hanging Chad. Alright, the big blind went faster than the small blind. I believe the homunculus is getting comfortable here. And now it looks like it's considering the judgment, which, looking at the rest of the shop, is somewhat tempting. A matador. Alright, so the way Matador works is every time you play a hand that is in any way disabled by the boss blind, he actually just gives you $8 right then and there. So any clubs that are played during this round will, anytime a hand is played that has scoring clubs, that's $8. Let's see if the homunculus can use this information to its advantage. And we're playing a high card for $8. It's almost like it heard me. Then we find a flush that'll surely win, and we're coming out with $15. Not looking to greed the Matador anymore, which is alright. $25 coming out of this blind. And we find some decent packs this go around. Strength, Hierophant, and Magician. That is leveling up cards, making sure cards give chips, or making gambling cards. Looks like we're heavily considering the strength here. Maybe looking to fix the deck towards some sort of rank-based win. Face cards. 2 10s. Alright. We go from 12 face cards in the deck to 14, and jacks are now heavy. I wonder if we're going for hoping to find a photograph or something of the like. Ouija or Wraith. Both have heavy downsides. And both completely reliant on luck. You eat the downside no matter what, but the outcome could be good or bad. I wonder how lucky we're feeling today. The Ouija. Face cards. All 7s. The worst rank card in the game. Wow, okay. Well, nonetheless, that's still going to make it easier to find hands heavy with 7s. And just like that, it's a 4 of a kind. An unfortunate rank card to find, absolutely, but still fix the deck. And we have 3 more jokers, probably 4 more jokers to find, since Matador is never a mainstay. Alright, looks like we're discarding the 3 of a kind to look for a 2 pair. Alright. That will take us through the blind. And we get to see another shop. The Duo and a Temperance is honestly a lovely shop to see. Buying the Temperance before the Duo to make sure we don't go over $30. And now we see a Death, a Star, and a Magician. And we have 7s in the hand. If we wanted to continue weighting the deck towards 7s, we could turn any of the other cards into a 7, which would certainly be a play. I mean, we're already there. The play's been made. 7s is the strat. Alright, and we're going to go into the medium blind, or the big blind. Right off the bat, a rather unspectacular hand. No 7s, funnily enough. And no good flush to go for. But we do have a jack. And jacks are slightly heavy. Not as heavy as 7s, but heavy nonetheless. We got those 2 extra jacks from the strength earlier. Alright, we're playing the high card. And immediately finding a flush. It's not bad. The flush doesn't have a pair in it. So duo won't be hitting. But then we find jacks, and we're almost to a diamond flush already. We're going to play the jacks. And hope for some better cards. Saving our discards for last here. There's 2 sevens, but no flush. Looks like we're going to play the pair here. 3 of a kinds and full houses still technically contain pairs. We're looking at the pairs for last hand. But no, we realize it's the last hand. Here we have some reevaluation. We're back to the drawing board. What will we decide to do? The options. Not the place we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for hands. We're reviewing here. Bird moment. Alright, it looks like we're discarding all but the sevens. And there's a 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind to take the round home. The run continues. 1400 on that hand. So one-shot the blind. Oh, now here's something interesting. Stencil. While we have no other jokers. And it looks like we're also considering the Celestial Pack. A Venus and a Mars. Both hands contain pairs. And with all the sevens, Mars seems like the best choice. Alright, the pillar. Pillar shouldn't matter too much, because none of our cards are enhanced, and none of our jokers are dependent on cards being scored. All this means is Matador should be hitting often. Alright, looks like we're finding a club flush. Now there's 2 sevens in the hand. We'll be scoring at least double of what we did last time, so a 4 of a kind will be hitting for at least 3,000 or 2,400 chips. But looks like we're set on playing the flush. That makes us $8. 2 sevens still in the hand. It looks like we're going for a 3 of a kind or a 4 of a kind. We find the 3 of a kind. But we have 4 hands left. Will the 3 of a kind win, or would it be better to go for the 4 of a kind here? Looks like we're going for the 4 of a kind, and we do find it. And that'll be another Matador hit, bringing us to $26 maximum interest. 2 extra hands, $2. This is going to be a lucrative round. $12. Alright. Looking in here, we have an Arcana pack, likely hoping for money. We do not find it, but everything in here will contribute to scoring. Whether through mult chips or hoping for the correct planet card of like a 3 or 4 of a kind. Looks like we're going to go with the Empress on a 6 and the number past 6. Probably looking to hit that 6 with a strength to turn it into the next number. Now we find a Scary Face and a Pluto. Pluto would function as a blocker if we did choose to open the Celestial Pack. It would be guaranteed to not see Pluto inside, which means it's more likely to find our Mars. But unfortunately, we still don't find Mars. All right. We're at $25, the entrance cap, but we do choose to take Grabber for an extra hand and essentially an extra $1 every round. And we find the 4 of a kind right off the bat, which means $5 from hands. This, folks, is why Blue Deck is strong. Alright, now we're looking at a hiker for some long-term scaling. But we're going to go with a pack here. We find Temperance, Hangman Justice, deck fixing, scoring, or money. Looks like we're going to Hangman and make it more likely to find our 7s during these rounds. Now we're considering the hiker, maybe Celestial Pack. Maybe we'll just choose to go next and keep money. Looks like we're going next. We're in the next blind. We find the 6, but no strength in hand, so it's not helpful. And we start with 2 7s. Alright, we're looking for the 4 of a kind again, it would seem. Not finding it, and only 1 discard left. 6 hands that we're probably looking to turn into money here, and we gotta sacrifice $1. So we do not find that 4-7 using our discards. Alright, looks like we're going to play the 3 of a kind, but we're going to use Hanging Chad to get extra mult out of the enhanced card, resulting in the blind being one-shot. A very good play from our Homunculus here. Then we find 2 different forms of base mult scoring in the next shop. Will we choose to take stable base mult scoring, or are we going to hope for more Hanging Chad value? Looks like we're turning that 7 or that 2 into another enhanced 7, and then pondering the abstract Joker, the raised fist. We're thinking about the stencil. It will go to being worthless if another Joker is taken, and it would go to being ×3 if another Joker was lost, resulting in 6 times mult if it was just Hangin' Chad, Duo, and Stencil. And looks like we're going down that route. Entering the Goad, spades are debuffed. Shouldn't be too much of an issue here. All of our all of our scoring is coming from Jokers and enhanced diamonds, I believe. Not finding any of those yet. Still only 1 7 in hand against the odds. There's 3 7s, but no enhanced. So we're going to go ahead and discard again. Now we find the 4 of a kind, but still with no enhanced 7. Will this score enough? We have a ×10, or we have a ×10 mult base scaling on our 4 of a kind there, which will blow us clean through the blind. Maybe because of the enhanced stencil. Alright. We have the option of Hone or 2 standard packs. Seems like we're going to peek into standard packs and we find a powerful Purple Seal 7. And Ramen. That... Okay, let's see. 2 times 3 is 6, and then 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So Ramen if we were willing to forego discarding ever again, would be a higher mult scoring. But I'm not sure if that's worth it. Marble Joker is also here. But we're going to open this next pack and find the holy grail of a lucky 7. Two very, very nice standard packs there to help fix our deck. 4-of-a-kind 7s are looking completely functional here. And we start with 3 of them in this opening hand. We're going to discard looking for the 4-of-a-kind. We do find it, and I believe this clears the blind. It was like 6,000, right? 8,000, alright. Easy one shot there. Now we're going to find a smiley face. Not exactly synergists. More standard packs and an Arcana pack. Let's see how we want to play this. Hermit. Judgment. Empress. Chariot. Alright, do we want to get more? Looks like we do want to enhance more 7s. Gotta milk all the value we can out of Hanging Chad. Now we're gonna re-roll. And we find a hologram. That's very good. We have a standard pack right here to start getting this guy stronger. Gonna take the stone card, as it's the only card we can throw into a 4-of-a-kind and just get extra scoring without harming the hand or the contents of it. Right. Only 1 7 to start here. That's alright. Looks like we're going to discard looking for more. We find 1 and the stone card. Will we keep the stone card or discard it in our search for 7s? Looks like we're going to keep it. Now we have a 3-of-a-kind 7s with the stone. This should be enough. Yeah, easy peasy. Alright, now we have to hope for more standard packs. We do find another standard pack, along with Hit the Road and Greedy Joker. It's like Arcana packs being taken first. We find another Magician. However, the only 7s in hand are already enhanced. One of them lucky. Looks like we're gonna choose 1 card to enhance, being the 6, in hopes of strength. And now we're gonna find nothing too great. A Red Seal King, an enhanced 3, and a regular 4. What do we want to go with here? Pondering the skip. We take the 3. 3 will just inflate the deck, but it still scales our hologram here. So it's perfectly welcome. Now we find the flint. Flint is... wow, okay, flint is not going to matter, it looks like. Flint hurts our base scaling, but we have Hanging Chad to bring that up. And we one-shot the boss by a 10% margin. Alright. Arcana pack and a standard pack, looking lots like the last shop we had. And a Fool with a Magician stored. So we could grab planet cards, a 5th Joker, or enhance cards in the round. We're going to go with the Magician. And then we're going to open the standard pack. Gotta scale that hologram. Ooh, some strong 6s. Candidates for using the strength card to turn them into 7s. And we're going to take one. A reroll. We find Banner and the Tower. I'm going to buy the Tower. And then go into Anti-5 here. Right. We find our Purple Seal 7 right off the bat. Looks like we're going to keep it. Not getting rid of it in case we have trouble finding 7s. 2 discards down and only finding 1 7. It's not ideal. Now we find another. We're at 3, and we have 2 candidates for Magician, which we are going to take full advantage of. Thinking about the 3 of a kind, and we're going to play the 3 of a kind. Let's hope for some hits here. And we do find the hit, which means we are going to clear in 1 hand. Good stuff. Mail-in rebate and Scholar. And a standard pack to scale hologram. Good stuff. No 7s, but we do find a steel card, which we do not have to play to get value out of. And that's going to bring hologram right on over to ×2 mult. Ooh, now this is a strong Arcana pack. Death, Hermit, and Magician. 3 of the strongest, consistently strongest Arcana pack cards here. Let's see what we want to take. Looks like we're thinking about turning this 5 into a 7 to help us find 4 of a kinds easier. That's the road we're going to go down. Considering the Joker's in the shop, Tarot Merchant, we're going to go next though. Alright, starting off here, no 7s in our beginning hand. Thinking about turning a 2 to stone. It's not a horrible play. We're never going to value the 2. Now we're either thinking about our discard here or looking to play a high card with the 6. Maybe hoping for money. No. Are we thinking about a flush, perhaps? Oh, an ace is higher than a 6. However, a discard is still viable here. There we go. Alright. We find 2 7s. We still have the 6, and now we have a steel card. Looks like we're discarding, and out of 3 discards we find 2 7s. That is amazing. And we are going to one-shot the blind. 90,000 with the steel. Good stuff. That's where the Hanging Chat is especially powerful. Is it's going to scale... It uses the enhancements to scale mult before steel cards hit. So it allows the base mult to get bigger, and then steel mult multiplies a larger starting number. It's very effective. That's why we love Hanging Chat. It's useful for pretty much everything. We find a Mars, and we're going to use it. Keep strengthening those 4 of a kinds. Jumbo Spectral Pack is a no-brainer. Let's see. Ooh. Now, Ectoplasm. You'd only have 6 cards in your hand if you took Ectoplasm, which may make it difficult to find your 4 of a kinds. But then you'd have 4 out of 6 Joker slots, which would turn Stencil into a ×3. It's a risk-reward that I'm not sure if it's worth it there. Let's see what we go with. Looking at our 7s. Blue Seal is being thought. Blue Seals are great on steel and gold cards, or cards you don't intend to play, to find planet cards. And I don't know, we are going to go with the Ectoplasm. Alright, so now we have the option of either grabbing another Joker and maintaining stencil value, or just leaving it as is. Alright, the Serpent. An interesting boss. It is going to allow us to inflate our hand size here. Oh. We're going to play the pair of queens here. We find 2 7s. Oh, we're going to play everything. Alright, we play a pair of 7s instead of looking for 4 of a kind. I think I might have forgot to teach the homunculus how the serpent works. Ooh. Now, with the serpent, after you play or discard any number of cards, it draws you 3 cards. So if you discard 5, you get 3. If you discard 1, you get 3. There we go. There's a 3 of a kind of 7s, but we still have more hands to play if we want to find the 4 of a kind. I'm not sure if relying on lucky cards here is the way we'd want to go to guarantee a win. Looks like we're going to do a 5-card high card. And we find a full house here. Alright, we're going to play the full house. We find 20 more mult, and we are going to pass the serpent. 120,000. We continue to scrape by. No more standard packs, unfortunately. Hologram's going to be rotting for a bit here. Looks like we take the Empress on a 7 and a 6. And we grab a blind. I may have looked away for a moment, didn't see what blind was grabbed. Voucher was grabbed, but that's alright. We're at $12. We're going to go next. Let's see, small blind, starting with a 7. How are we going to play this? Discarding 4, we find a 3 of a kind of jacks, which could be used to play a full house. We're going to play the full house. 7,000. We find our lucky 6 and another 7. I'm going to discard all that though. Find a pair of 7s again. And there's a 4 of a kind. Alright. We're going to take the safe route and do the I don't remember what it's called. What's a card called when it's enhanced with mult? Just a malted card? I'm not sure. We're going to put the guaranteed mult, prioritize the guaranteed mult over the lucky card, which is probably a smart option here. Don't want to greed on this good of a run. Now we're looking at a selection of 7s. Chips, lucky, or mult. We're going to take the chips. And we're going to take Uranus. Ponder the Celestial Pack. And we're going to not be tempted. We're going to go next. Starting with 3 7s. We find the 4th, which should be a simple win here. And it will be. Good stuff. 90,000 in with the 4 of a kind. We'll need to find some more power somewhere. Whether that's just leveling up our hand, finding more cards for hologram, in order to clear the final boss blind. But we are safe for the rest of this ante and another. Very comfortable. Right, now we're looking at Hanged Man, Chariot, and Strength. Chariot could be the scoring we're looking for, but Strength could get more of those 6s up. And Hanged Man would just fight some of this deck bloat that we're finding because of hologram. 3 good options here, but which is the best? Looks like we're going to put Chariot on a 10, which is smart. It's tempting to put it on a face card, but a face card could be debuffed by something like the plant. So it's less likely for a 10 to be debuffed here. Onyx Agate and a Celestial Pack. We do find a photograph, but unfortunately we're playing 7s. I don't think the deck is heavy towards face cards at all, so that is a... Not sure how that play is looking. And we're just going to go next. Hold on to $8 and go into the window. Would photograph have been good? I'm not sure. It maybe could have been. But we're happy playing 7s here. If we find more steel, we'll blow through blinds. Alright. 2 lucky cards. One's debuffed though. And a enhanced. Start off with 28 mult. Playful. 180,000. And you only had to do 2 discards to get there. Which means you probably could play 2 whole 4 of a kinds on the final boss. A glass 7 or a steel 10. Discarding to look for more 7s, playing a 2-pair in the process, which doesn't score half bad. Find 2 7s now. We can discard a full hand. And there's a 4 of a kind. Play that. We're going to find 420 total mult there. Strength. There we go. Finally strength some of these 2s or 6s we've been finding. And there's another 6 right on cue. Considering the palette. Alright, opening hand, 3 7s. None of them give mult though. Looks like we're sort of searching for another 6, but we give up the hunt. Now we have a 5 of a kind, but 5 of a kind is not scaled. Be quiet, like. Which should be alright. We've seen that we have enough 7s in the deck to play 4 of a kinds, play multiple 4 of a kinds. And we're gonna go with one right here. It will win. Alright, big blind anti-7. One more boss blind before we're on the final boss. And a Justice. Why, that's worth holding on to until the final boss. And just throwing it on whatever 7 we want to play. It would one-shot anything. We're gonna take the Celestial pack here. We don't find Mars, so it's not really useful. We'll take the Venus anyway. And moving right on into the plant. We find 3 7s right off the bat. One of them's multed. There's the 4th. Just gonna use them to one-shot the blind here. Good stuff. And that brings us to ante-8, the final 3 blinds. Now, we have a standard pack, an Arcana pack. We're going to take the standard pack. We find a 7. Standard pack helps score. And it's going to help fix the deck here. Looks like we were considering the voucher, probably to help scale hologram, but probably thought it was too late in the run to grab that. Looking at the Jokers, looking at the Arcana pack. What are we going to do here? Buying the Arcana pack. Ooh. A Chariot is a good find. A Wheel of Fortune, if we want to gamble. We're unlucky. And we're just going to go next. Verdant Leaf. All cards debuffed until one Joker sold. Now that is not entirely ideal. I'm sure we can find a way to play around it. We're gonna take the lucky card here and find 20 bucks in exchange. Oh no, we still take the blind. Good stuff. All right, 2 planet packs, a couple of jokers. Now, with that final boss blind, it would be worth taking a trash joker into it to sell and rebuff your cards. That way, Justice could prove useful. And we're going to find a Mars as well. Always good to grab. Now, with the Justice, we can one-shot the blind right now. So a skip is potentially in the works. Just to take a Joker in guaranteed. Now we're going to keep re-rolling. And gonna grab Odd Todd. Create another Joker. And we're gonna sell. We're gonna sell to make sure Stencil is still strong. And strength the 6s into the bigger number. Looking at the Justice here. Using the Justice on a 7. And that looks like it's going to be a win for our Homunculus. Let's give a round of applause. Alright. That is going to conclude this video. Thank you so much everybody for watching. I hope you have a good day. And yeah, peace.